Would you say now in the winter months it's also a good time to look to buy? Because it seems like the market has definitely, it tends to get slower in the winter time, doesn't it?
It does. You know, some people have different perspectives. A lot of people look in the winter thinking that they're going to buy something in the spring once things heat up. I will tell you that the spring and the fall markets are the busiest. That's typically when most people list their properties. So you've got more inventory in the spring and the fall, less inventory in the winter and the summer. However, it's never too early to start to look. You can always look online for free, and the better you educate yourself in terms of the prices and what the offerings are in the particular neighborhood that you want to buy in, it's great. But in terms of actually timing the market, it's hard to say. Really, there's deals to be had and great negotiations to be had in every market.
Well, let's say this is the right time for me to get started, or I say it's going to be in April of next year. What do I do to get started? Where's the first place that you would go? I mean, do you start searching online? Do you start with, what do you do? What criteria do you put together?
Well, in addition to having your down payment of 20%, which is kind of standard for condo, or call it 25% for co-op, you're going to want to have a couple of other things. You're going to want a pre-approval if you're going to be seeking financing.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That sounds very important.
Sure. A pre-approval is basically a cursory overview of your financial position and a general letter of loan ability to you. And that means that the bank has said that they will be able to write you a loan. It's not a firm commitment, but it's something basically that you can show when you're making an offer. It'll prove that you are credit worthy, and there's a good chance that you're financing that you're going to be able to close, and the owner is going to be able to get out front.
So do I just call up my local bank? Is there a person?
Chase, Citibank, any of the big ones, Wells Fargo, they make a lot of money on the mortgage business. There's also mortgage brokers like Loan Depot, some other guys that are out there, and they will be able to broker your credit score, your income, your assets, and they'll see what the best deal they can get for you is. And typically you can get a pre-approval letter the same day if you just share some basic information with your lender or mortgage broker.
Do you think it's important to have a pre-existing relationship or some kind of relationship with a particular person as a mortgage broker as you start on this search? Is that a good thing?
I don't think that's necessary, but as with anything else, measure twice, cut once. Whether it's a real estate broker or a real estate attorney, people that come on, high recommendations are much more favored than just a stranger from the internet.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Sometimes when you're doing a deal, there are last minute things that happen right up until the close, and there can be some hijinks, high pressure situations that were expected. Yeah. And it's good to know that you have that person will pick up the phone when you need them, because sometimes there are documents that are needed like last minute. So it's important. Where do you think the best places are to find apartments online if you were to go start your search there?
Well, keep in mind, I'm assuming anybody that's watching this has probably already started to look online on their own, if not even view a few open houses on your own. You can start looking. Obviously, we just launched Alta, and if you go to altanewyork.com, we're very proud of the website. You can search for all listings there in New York City, from Douglas Solomon, Corcoran, Sotheby's, as well as Alta exclusives. You can view everything, and we think it's a better experience than StreetEasy. StreetEasy is the most popular. It's owned by Zillow, and you can look there as well. And then, of course, there's other things. People use Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. But I would say in New York City, you would either use something like Alta, which is a brand that you know, or you would use StreetEasy. But there are caveats when you're searching in terms of making sure you understand who you're talking to, who's representing the property. Those are things that a lot of people don't know.
And what should buyers be looking for besides, the beautiful photos that they see online? What else what should they be looking for?
It's like online dating, right? So everything looks beautiful. Like, oh my God, it looks so great. They should be looking as much as they can. Of course, it's hard to tell in the pictures. Natural light, a good layout, updated appliances are nice. Most people, the things that they want are proximity to a park or to a subway, especially if you go into work. So those, within a general area, like for instance, on the Upper West Side, there's a lot of parks, right? Maybe in Soho, there's only 1 or 2 parks, or maybe in the West Village, there's some other smaller parks. So if a park is your thing, you're going to want to make sure you're within, 3 or 4 blocks of that park if you have a young kid. And otherwise, some people, they have to be near a Starbucks or whatever it is you want.
Yeah.
But I would say transportation is a major one. The closer you get to transportation, the property values reflect it. They tend to be higher than things where you have to have a 10 or 15-minute walk after you get off the subway.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, especially in a city like New York, which is so dense and can get so crowded. It's nice to know you can get around town quickly.